Hi all, welcome to the Marquee Matchups for the 9th of June. This is the international week, so I would imagine we'll have 4 international games. There's not really many league games for what I've gathered this week, but it's going to be quite hard to kind of determine what they'll go for. But if you can smash likes, be awesome, sub to the channel if you're new, follow me on Twitter at GTheLegend. All the links are down below for playlist on the channel and social media links as always. So let's jump into the international Marquee Matchups. So Brazil, Argentina is the first show of the week. This is kind of like one of the biggest games in the world. And in all honesty, it's got a lot of importance because Argentina have a strong chance of not actually qualifying for the World Cup next year. Now, I would say personally, this is probably one of the biggest games and it has a fair shout of happening. In terms of the rating though, I've got 79 at the moment as a very lowest overall. I would imagine it will be about an 80, so be prepared. But one from both teams, 3 leagues, 4 rares, 2 nations, could be a minimum. But it's easy enough to kind of have just one Brazil and one Argentina and then kind of hybridise it in terms of the nations. You can have like a few leagues, for example. This could be between 6 to 10k for cost and a 7 out of 10 for liquid. I quite fancy this route to happen. Scotland, England, the old enemy as it is, this should happen and it would be quite easy to put together. An EPL squad would be kind of the route I would go with this. The good aspect about this is like guys like Giroud and Boney will have a use for me. But Stephen Fletcher and John Stones are the Scotland and England players that I've opted for in this aspect. But for this, one player from both teams, clubs, I would say 7 clubs because they'll look at something. If it's EPL, they might even go to 11. Rare players at least 4, 5 nations, then an 80 overall rate, 70 to 10k for cost, 46k reward, and a 7 out of 10 for likelihood. I really fancy it and it should happen. Obviously, in terms of the actual big games that are kind of deemed a derby, it's quite hard this week. Then Mexico USA is another standout game of the week. This is a big game in the CONCACAF region and both teams will be determined to get themselves into the World Cup. One player from both teams, a minimum of 2 leagues, 4 rares, 5 nations. It's hard enough you think trying to put 5 nations, but it's only because the way to kind of help you out with this is relying heavily on just both leagues and just kind of picking the nationalities that kind of where you can slot them in. So like Mexico's in certain regions, and then Argentina, and then like as we've got like Martinez of Venezuela up top and Kaká. But for me, this would be a smart route. 6 out of 10 for likelihood. The biggest question is where else can they really go, and I'm trying to think they'll go one game from kind of like each region. Obviously there are so many other games that they could just throw in just for the sake of it. And Australia, Saudi Arabia is the last kind of route that I'm covering for this week. Obviously there is other games, there's plenty of games in terms of internationals this week, but I'm only focusing on the 4 main ones I kind of feel confident enough in mentioning in the video, guys. That's kind of what this video is mainly focusing on this week. But Australia, Saudi Arabia, 1 from both teams, 2 leagues, 3 rares, 5 nations, 70 overall rating, wouldn't be too difficult, 5 to 7k cost, 46k reward, and a 6 out of 10 for likelihood. For me personally, these would be my 4 most confident shouts, and then there is other games that and I will leave like a list of other games that I do fancy but not going to cover in the video, mainly because I could end up covering so many different likelihoods that it would kind of make it a bit diluted. So if you find this useful, let me know in the comments down below what 4 you would fancy this week. It seems to be an option that we're going to keep getting for now. Smash the like, sub to the channel for new, follow me on Twitter, and I will catch you all later.